The northern plains of the United States, a landscape often overlooked by hiking enthusiasts in favor of more dramatic mountain ranges or coastal trails. But beneath this seeming simplicity lies a world of hidden beauty, fascinating history, and rich cultural heritage. Today, we're exploring the best hiking trails of the northern plains, stretching across North Dakota, South Dakota, eastern Montana, Wyoming, and Nebraska. These aren't your typical mountain hikes, but they offer something equally special. Vast open spaces, incredible biodiversity, and a chance to walk in the footsteps of history. The northern plains were formed by ancient glaciers and shaped by millions of years of wind and water erosion. What we see today is the result of these powerful forces, creating badlands, river valleys, and some of the most productive soil on Earth. Before European settlement, these plains were home to one of the world's largest grassland ecosystems, supporting massive herds of bison and the indigenous peoples who depended on them. Today, only fragments of this original ecosystem remain, making the preserved areas we'll explore even more precious. Our first destination is Theodore Roosevelt National Park in western North Dakota. Roosevelt came here in 1883 as a young man grieving the deaths of his wife and mother. The landscape transformed him, instilling the conservation ethic that would define his presidency. The park offers over 100 miles of trails across 3 distinct units. Let's look at some of the more popular options. The Petrified Forest Loop is a moderate 10-mile trail in the park's north unit. You'll hike through badlands to discover some of the largest concentrations of petrified wood in the country. Ancient forests turned to stone over 60 million years ago. The Caprock Coulee Trail gives you the quintessential Badlands experience in just 4.1 miles. You'll climb through multicolored rock layers, each representing millions of years of Earth's history. Watch for bison, which have been reintroduced to the park and roam freely throughout. What makes hiking here special isn't just the trails, it's the solitude. The northern plains receive far fewer visitors than parks like Yellowstone or Yosemite, meaning you can often have these incredible landscapes all to yourself. Moving south, we come to the Black Hills of South Dakota, an island of mountains rising from the plains, considered sacred by the Lakota people who call them Pahasapa. Black Elk Peak Trail, formerly known as Harney Peak, takes you to the highest point east of the Rockies at 7,242 feet. The 7-mile round trip climbs through pine forest to a stone fire tower with panoramic views across 4 states. For something unique, try the Cathedral Spires Trail, a 2.3-mile hike through granite needles and spires that inspired the design of Mount Rushmore. Rock climbers love this area, but hikers can enjoy it too, with the trail winding between these spectacular formations. Just east of the Black Hills lies Badlands National Park, where erosion has carved one of the world's strangest landscapes. The Castle Trail is the park's longest at 10 miles round trip, taking you through a maze of buttes, spires, and prairie. This area contains one of the world's richest fossil beds, with ancient rhinos, horses, and saber-toothed cats preserved in the colorful rock layers. The Badlands form one of the world's fastest eroding landscapes, revealing new fossils each year. Scientists believe these layers contain the story of climate change from 37 to 28 million years ago, from subtropical forest to open grassland. The northern plains have been home to numerous indigenous nations for thousands of years, including the Lakota, Dakota, Nakota, Cheyenne, Crow, Assiniboine, and many others. These cultures have deep spiritual connections to the land we're hiking through. Bear Butte, or Matopaha, rises 1,253 feet above the plains and remains an active sacred site. A 3.8-mile trail circles the butte, but visitors should stay on designated paths and be respectful of prayer offerings tied in trees. Indigenous people still come here for vision quests and ceremonies. The Northern Plains were also central to the fur trade era. At Fort Union Trading Post, National Historic Site, you can walk the grounds where the Assiniboine, Crow, Cree, Ojibwe, and other tribes traded buffalo robes for European goods from 1828 to 1867. Now for some lesser-known trails. Medicine Rocks State Park in eastern Montana features sandstone formations honeycombed with caves and windows. Theodore Roosevelt called it as fantastically beautiful a place as I have ever seen. A 1.5-mile interpretive trail loops through the heart of these formations. For long-distance hikers, the Ma-Da-Hay Trail offers 144 miles through the Little Missouri National Grassland. The name means an area that has been or will be around for a long time in the Mandan language. You can tackle small sections or through hike the entire route, connecting both units of Theodore Roosevelt National Park. In northwestern Nebraska, Toadstool Geological Park features otherworldly rock formations that look like mushrooms. A 1-mile loop trail takes you through these bizarre formations, with fossils literally eroding out of the hillsides at your feet. Hiking in the Northern Plains requires specific preparation. First, water is scarce, so make sure to carry more than you think you'll need. Second, the weather changes rapidly, so be prepared for extreme heat, cold, or sudden storms. Third, wildlife awareness is crucial. Bison may look docile, but can charge at 35 miles per hour. Fourth, leave no trace, as these fragile ecosystems take decades to recover from damage. And finally, check visitor center hours, since many sites have seasonal operations. The Northern Plains may not have the jagged peaks of the Rockies or the towering trees of the Pacific Northwest, but they offer something equally valuable. A chance to experience America as it once was, to walk in the footsteps of indigenous peoples, explorers, and settlers who shaped our history. When you hike these trails, you're not just exercising, you're connecting with a landscape that has witnessed the unfolding of American history from the first human inhabitants to the present day. So next time you're planning a hiking trip, consider looking beyond the mountains to the hidden treasures of the Northern Plains. I promise you won't be disappointed. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share your own Northern Plains hiking experiences in the comments. Until next time, happy trails.